I'm Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Kevin MacNeil, the CEO of EQ Resources. Kevin, how are you today?
Good, Shay. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for asking, and fantastic to have you on after EQ Resources has inked such an exciting offtake agreement with Elmet Technologies. Tell me, what does this deal mean for the company?
Yeah, it's really strategic for our company. Elmet are one of the premier suppliers to the U.S. military, and tungsten is a critical metal for the U.S. military. And with China, the U.S. now not taking any more Chinese supply after 2026, we're receiving a lot of calls from these downstream players that are trying to secure supply for us. And in that regard, with the new Defense Act, is that we are now designated as a domestic supplier into the U.S.
I'm so glad you mentioned domestic supply for the US. Now, I'd like you to elaborate more on what this means for investors and potential investors listening, because last time I checked, this wasn't American soil. So, how does an Australian based mining operation become a domestic supplier for the US?
The critical metals, Shay, is everybody is scrambling right now as China keeps shutting off supply of critical metals, and so we are one of the largest Western supplier of tungsten, and tungsten is listed as the most economically important mineral to the European Union. Is designated, and that's because it's used in every drill bit, every cutting tool for manufacturing motors, engines, you name it, right? It has huge applications shot through everything. And if that supply gets disrupted, it can disrupt entire economies.
Now it's time to talk about the nuts and bolts about the mineral that you are mining, and that is tungsten. Now, you already have an operational mine in Queensland, Australia, and I believe the permit to explore right next to it, as well as an operational mine in Spain. Tell me, where are these assets all at, and what's their future growth prospects?
Yeah, we're defining reserves. We have reserves defined for about 10 years on each operation, and expanding that as required. Resource wise, we have a very large resource of tungsten. At Mount Carbine, that means going underground in the future. So we've opened up the old decline in recent weeks, and that's sort of the future for Mount Carbine there. And in Spain is just further exploration to the south and to the north of the operation. But yeah, I just recently came back from Spain, and that operation is really relying around recovery improvement. And as a metallurgist, that's what my specialty is. So that's what I'm getting my head stuck into over in Spain to increase their recoveries.
I love a metallurgist. Basically, their specialty is cooking rocks.
That's
Uh,
right.
Now, just to take us home, normally I sort of ask people, what is the company going to do next? But we're seeing some interesting movements come out of the Beijing government, and that is that they recently put export controls on antimony. But as you just pointed out, tungsten is is considered the most critical metal in Europe. Do you think there is any chance that China could also place export controls on tungsten?
We are holding our breath daily, waiting for that announcement to happen, which I believe is imminent. Personally, I think that China needs their own supply to create their own industry. So they've been making their own hardening tools, their own drill bits, all the strategic things that tungsten go into in our daily lives. China are making these end use products. So where's the logic for them to be exporting tungsten when they can do it themselves, right? So I think this is on the cards, and I think other like Elmet having a very serious company invest into a junior in Australia just shows the depth of the need for critical metals.
Listen, back in the tail end of 2002, I was told by a battle weary commodities analyst that we should be paying more attention to tungsten as it was at risk of supply disruption. Listen, Kevin, I want to thank you so much for being here. It is an obscure metal to talk about, but as you've so rightly pointed out, it's a critical metal for almost everything that we do. Great story unfolding here, and congratulations on this deal. Thank you for joining us.
Great. Thank you very much, Shae.